Hey allihopa, welcome to On the John. I'm John Strand, and today we're going to take a look at episode 2 of Allt För Sverige. They are winter in Indianapolis, and it's cold, so I'm going to go inside where I'm going to chat with Erika Newell and talk to her about how she almost died before the episode was even filmed. Crazy story there.
Why are you in the back?
Well, because Erika, you are the first guest of On the John. So, first off, can we talk about how you almost didn't make it to episode 2?
Oh, it was so... Oh. We need to lay this out of everything that happened. You know, we don't get told what we're doing, what to wear, or where we're going. You know, they don't tell us that we're gonna go on a trip, and they don't tell you for how long. We get into this car in this little Kia, and there's 5 of us, and all of the luggage, all of it. And I, on my lap, have a box of COVID, because I got the sit bitch. I'm sitting in the middle, so I've got COVID on my left, I've got John on my right, and Brittany's up front with our cast mom who's driving us. And all of us are not small.
I don't know if you can tell how cramped we are, but boxes on Erika.
Hey.
Melody's doing pretty good over there.
Hi.
But bags on bags. We got bags on bags. And I have tiny shoulders.
Yeah, tiny shoulders. We have to go back and forth to being either one of us is in the front or one of us is in the back because our shoulders are too big. Okay. I'm feeling
No room.
Our shoulders don't fit across. And at this point, we've met one family member, so emotions are high, we're tired, we're excited, and then they're 5 hours in a Kia. I'm like, I will never in my life forget the moment when I looked right and I started to sort of lose it. And I don't get anxiety or lose it easily. And I looked at John and I was like, holy I can't do it. And you just look at me and you go, gonna be okay. Just breathe. It's gonna be fine. So I took a breath. I looked at Tilda and I said, where's the nearest system belonging? But then all of a sudden we just start listening to music, and then we start laughing and sharing stories, and then it became this little bubble of heaven that I couldn't have appreciated more. And that Kia is just my favorite little place. We finally get to this camp, and there is, in these little stugas, there's no running water. There's one light. And so we decided to go walking around the camp in the dark.
Just so everybody knows, it's a campground just outside of Sävsjö. It's midnight and Melody goes to bed, and then you and Brittany and I decide it's a good idea to find some water and go swimming.
So I just see water and think, there it is. And I take a step off a cliff. There was nothing underneath me. It was a solid 3-foot drop. The way I got out of this, mind you, is I rolled past another boulder and landed, and then I didn't have a shoe on. It's dark, so I have this little Coolpix camera thing. So I'm just photographing because every time it flashes, I'm trying to find my sandal. And I just hear John and Brittany going, Erika!
It's a miracle that you didn't crack your head open because there's boulders, rocks everywhere. As it was, you tore up your leg pretty bad.
Even the pictures that we ended up getting doesn't do it justice with the steepness which it was. You can't even tell how it was. I have this gash on my left leg, and
so bad. And that's healed. That's crazy. That's what, 6 months ago, and it's still that big of a scar.
It makes for a funny story. And the best part is the next morning we got up and then we all took a bath in the lake. We showered in the lake, if you remember.
Yeah, that was so great. I think Brittany was shaving her legs on the side, and then you and I found that big platform to jump off of.
Remember how cold it was that morning too?
The water was freezing cold. I thought it felt so good.
Because I was still in that stupid orange jumpsuit and I was freezing. I had to walk around the blanket, and every time we had to do a photo shoot or something. Everyone's like, take it off. I was like, my God, it is cold in Sweden in August.
Well, I think we had an uncharacteristically cold summer and just didn't pack right for it.
I would say I was really apprehensive about being at a pastor's house. You know, sometimes pastors, at least in America, can be a lot more reserved. And I was very nervous about like the thoughts behind that or what it was going to be like. Are they going to be very closed off? And I have stayed all around the world. And there are few places that I can remember that were open to me with such warmth and love and just excitement. And, you know, I walked in being nervous about myself feeling uncomfortable. And I left just feeling enveloped in this family that just accepted me no matter what part of me they saw. So people were like, religion is dooming and war and blah. And I'm like, it doesn't have to be. And I think that's what Pastor Amos showed. And what you expressed so much is that the acceptance of love.
Yeah.
And we at least got to feel that. And I know not every castmate got to feel that, but I think that story needed to be shared. And I know, you know, your story brought my sister to tears, and she's like, Jon I feel like he just got an awakening.
Yeah.
And no longer angry. And I'm like, I'm sorry. For no offense to the Swedes, but for all of you or all of the Swedish people that were like, too much religion, just look at like even your story and Bubba's story and see what Allt För Sverige did for you guys internally.
Yeah.
You guys' peace. And is that not what is supposed to happen?
Yeah. And I think the other thing that was just very impactful was, you know, the conversation I'm having with Pastor Amos in the evening that wasn't filmed. And he just puts his hand on my shoulder and he says, Jon, you don't have to be anywhere. You know, and it was just a perfect sort of message of love coming from him. And he was such a light. And I think that's why our group had such a good experience, is because we were around a really great group of people that were just showing us a lot of love.
Kind of like a month and a half or so after the show, and you're like, what are you doing? What are you feeling? And you know me, it's just like takes me a minute to like sink into a lot of that stuff. And I was like, I don't know. And I was still like really trepidatious about what I was doing, and I was nervous. But I think even that conversation, I remember I was sitting out on my back porch and you're like, I mean, have you changed? And I kind of, things were in my brain, but they weren't going through my fingers and my toes, and I wasn't living what my thoughts were. And I just think even that conversation, like knowing that somebody else was going through a change and somebody else was doing, like having those thoughts and those realizations, and you were just a bigger catalyst than I think you realize about me. Just like, it's okay to change. It's okay to move on. It's okay to do something. Like, I've encompassed myself in this zoo for so long. And I just want you to know, I appreciate it that you forced me to feel and think more than I'm used to just doing, because you realized that like there was a bigger impact to what we did. And that impact is okay to, you know, bubble up in other ways. And I don't know that I was ready to realize that is what it was doing.
Yeah.
I thought like it's supposed to just be this thing, and it can have a cause and effect. And I didn't realize that anybody else saw it that way. And I don't know that I did. So I appreciate you checking in with me. Like, you literally just called me and you were like, how are you doing?
Yeah.
Like, having thoughts? Are you changing? And I was like, am I supposed to? And I was like, wanted to. So
yeah. Yeah, Erika, I really appreciate you telling me that. I mean, that means a lot to me, and I think it's cool. I've seen you grow so much. I mean, you know, during our time in Sweden and then even afterwards. And so it's fun to see where your journey's going to take you. And I'm excited, you know, and really privileged that I get to be a little part of it.
Appreciate you. I love you so much.
Love you too. There's our ending. Good work. All right, take care. Hej då.
Yeah.
So, hope you enjoyed some of the crazy stories from behind the scenes at episode 2. Stay tuned, go ahead and subscribe because we'll do it again for episode 3 where we're going to recap our adventures to the island of Gotland and the medieval festival as well as the first elimination. So, we'll see you later. Hej då, vi ses snart.